Ray's actually the president of the Australian, a vice president of the Australian Bush Poets Association, and most of the poets that come up here, they belong to that, yes. And so if you want a free magazine that tells you all about the Bush Poets Association and Ray, well, come over and see me on the product table and I'll give you one for free. You fix the mic for me because when I touch them they droop. Well, I do. But look, I don't know whether you want to stay on stage for this. You can choose because I'm going to talk about little ones. Well, no, it all started. No, it started with Brian Weir yesterday. He was talking. Oh, look at his drooping now. Can you fix the mic for me, darling, while I keep talking? And Brian Weir started...
This is a little one. Get some Viagra, it'll come up.
Well, we'll let him fix this first. I'll tell you what got me started on this, because Brian Weir, while Ray's fiddling with that one, he was talking about little finger yesterday, wasn't he? You know? No, that wasn't me, that's Ray. That's very rude, you know, isn't it? Yeah, that's what. Okay, thanks, Ray. Right, there you go. Oh, is it working? Yeah. Oh, good. You work wonders, darling. But look, I got an email this morning from a friend of mine. She's over in Ireland, actually. And she said, I'm over here in Ireland, and I've got to tell you, dear, if you're enduring change of life, then the best place to be is here. Because everybody's frozen, and they're feeling quite forlorn. But due to my hot flushes, I'm feeling nice and warm. Oh, it's hubby who's complaining, and he's full of morbid drear. He said that he's just so bloomin' cold that his dirty disappears. Well, so is my libido, so I'm glad to take a rest. I'll tell you, during menopause, cold climates are the best. Which seems like a good introduction to the next poem, which I have written called Celibacy. Now, where sex and hanky-panky are considered quite profane, in certain countries laws decree that people should abstain. But celibacy's not a virtue that Aussie blokes would rate, and missing out is simply 'cause you can't cajole your mate. Now, some folks become celibate because they're just too old, and other folks, like in Ireland, become celibate because they're just too cold. But now, not Ray, Fred. Is Fred here? Fred's become celibate. He's not. Where's Fred? Despite his marriage vow. It wasn't his intention, but it happened anyhow. His wife decided that more romance was needed in their life, and she took him on a course that aimed to show each man and wife how to be more lovey-dovey, not just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Well, Freddie went along, but he thought it was a sham. He thought if he did humour her, he'd end up getting more. Oh, poor bloke. He really didn't know what he was heading for. Now, the marriage celebrant told Fred, now, How well do you know this lovely lady next to you? You need your love to show. So here's a simple question that will put you to the test. Can you tell me the flower that your lady loves the best? Fred, he was just so relieved. He leant and gave a stroke to both his wife's tight-fisted hands, and then this simple bloke said, "Darl, your favourite flower is self-raising." Am I right? Well, Fred's new life, no sex at all, began that very night.